And welcome to GB News Day with the breaking news this lunchtime. Under fire, Home Secretary Suella Braverman admitting that she breached the ministerial code on 6 occasions, sending documents from a government email, we have the details here, to a personal address. All this coming as she faces mounting pressure over the Dover firebombing and a growing criticism from within her own party at the condition of the Manston reprocessing site. It's been claimed now that the Home Secretary blocked hotel rooms for migrants to, quote, process them quicker. Well, let's get the very latest with our political editor, Darren McCaffrey, who is following these events down at Westminster. Darren, we've got the details here at GB News of these 6 different occasions where it said she's breached the ministerial code. And I'm looking at the dates. The first, the 15th of September, the last on the 16th of October. A month. So, effectively, serial offending.
Yeah, indeed, Mark. And this has all got, again, quite suddenly, quite serious for the Home Secretary. Now, you may remember she resigned, less than 2 weeks ago, effectively forced out of office as Home Secretary under Liz Truss because she was seen to have broken that ministerial code. She admitted it was a mistake. We thought that was in relevance just to one of these emails, these confidential emails that have been sent from her work account to her private Gmail account and then forwarded on to another Conservative MP, but then also CC'd in a person who shouldn't have been done. So there are a couple of aspects of this story. Let's start, first of all, with the fact that it has happened, it seems now, 6 times rather than 1. And also, when we look at the detail of what was in these letters, the Home Secretary is essentially saying that this was designed to allow the Office for Budget Responsibility to incorporate the position into the forecasts ahead of the anticipated fiscal statement on the 31st of October, i.e. the argument being that by liberalising the rules on immigration, that might help boost economic growth, which would have been good for the government given the pressure it was under when it came to the big massive hole in the finances. The argument is that the 4-page document contained high-level proposals on illegal migration, but, and this is the argument from the Home Secretary, it did not contain any market-sensitive data. So that's one bit of it, so i.e. 6 different sendings of these emails on 6 different occasions. The last occasion, the one that she had to resign over, the argument from the Home Office is that it didn't contain what they say market-sensitive data. However, there is another twist to all of this, and it is always, when did this happen and what was said when it happened? Now, at the time, Suella Braverman said that when she realised she'd forwarded on these emails, that it had been a mistake, and that she'd admitted to that mistake, she'd come forward, and that is why she, in the end, decided that she needed to resign. However, there are questions about this, about whether she did come forward or whether she was confronted by it, and there are suggestions in the end that she did not act very quickly, that hours ticked by before anything was done about this on that Wednesday, to the point where, and this is most interesting, a Conservative MP on the Home Affairs Select Committee, Andrew Percy, has written a rather stinging reply to this letter from the Home Secretary, saying that I'm really not sure that government documents being shared with members of your former colleagues via Gmail is a good thing. Can you tell me what the ministerial code says on this and what processes are in place for the Home Office to share sensitive government documents via email? Simply asking your team to delete this email and ignore it is not an acceptable response to what appears on the face of it to be a potential serious breach of security. And that's from a Conservative MP suggesting that this is a serious breach of security. So the pressure is not now just from the Labour Party, but quite clearly from inside the Conservative Party too.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at these 6 that are in an appendix and the comment sections. At least 2 of them refer to recent protest activity and public disorder, protest activity on Sunday the 16th of October, i.e. they may not be intelligence matters, but they are certainly very sensitive matters.
Yeah, they are indeed. Now, the argument from Suella Braverman seems to be the reason that she forwarded these emails on, this is what she's written in the letter, is because that she often has to have Zoom calls. She's often on the move, as one would expect from a senior government minister, and that, frankly, during those Zoom calls, she's using her government-issued phone, but she needs to have access to this information, hence why she's forwarded to her private phone, so essentially that she can do two things at once, i.e. have that Zoom call while still seeing the information on screen. Now, again, whether you believe that or not, that will be up to individuals and indeed for MPs to decide whether that is a genuinely good enough excuse for the reason. In the end, this should still not have happened, even if that was the necessity by why it did happen, that there are breaches of the ministerial code, that this seems to have happened on 6 different occasions, that clearly members of the Home Affairs Select Committee are not happy, and that there are still further questions. And there is a real sense, I think, here at Westminster, Mark, and this is all aside, of course, from what's gone on at the weekend in Kent involving migration, which Suella Braverman seems to have a hand in herself. This is all in addition to that, and I think there's an expectation that we need to see the Home Secretary today to explain herself.
Indeed.